So much stress and anxiety for so many people right now, separated from their families in isolation. How do we manage the stress and anxiety?
That's a really good question, and I'm very happy to be with you because everyone is under stress. And I think the first thing we have to do is realize that we are under stress, and feeling anxious and distressed and worried and uncertain is a perfectly natural response to this situation. So that's number one. And then number two, we need all of us to learn some very simple, basic techniques for bringing ourselves back into physiological, and psychological balance. And that's fundamental to being able to cope with all the challenges that are coming up. And that's what we've been teaching. That's what we are teaching at the Center for Mind-Body Medicine. That's what I'm teaching in the transformation. And of course, the trauma now is ongoing, and we need these techniques even more. And they're very simple, and they're grounded in science. And we can easily teach them, and people can easily learn them.
Well, can you share some of those some of those techniques, I should say, for those of us who still have to show up to work, we still have to cover the news? Are there simple things we can do at our desks to just put ourselves in a different headspace?
Sure. I think the thing to understand is that when we're under this kind of ongoing stress, we go into what's called the fight or flight response. And everybody has experienced this, not once, but many times in our lives. And it can be a life-saving response. You fight a predator or danger, or you get out of there. The problem is, in a situation like this, fight or flight is ongoing. So our heart rate is higher, our blood pressure tends to go up, our big muscles get tense, areas of our brain responsible for fear and anger, and a part of the brain called the amygdala, are firing much more than they should be. And the parts of our brain responsible for thoughtful decision-making and self-awareness and compassion are shut down some. So what we need to do is to rebalance, to use an antidote to the fight or flight response. And it's very simple, and we can do it right now just for a minute or so.
Okay, let's.
All we need to do, and I'm going to close my eyes because it's easier if I close my eyes. I'm going to close my eyes and breathe deeply, in through my nose, out through my mouth, with my belly soft and relaxed. And yeah, everyone who's watching can do this with us.
And how long do we do this for, Dr. Gordon?
Perhaps saying the word soft as we breathe in.
Soft.
And belly as we breathe out, and feeling our bellies softening and relaxing as we do this. Just a few more breaths like this, knowing that as we do this, we're getting more air into our lungs, and the oxygen feeds all the cells in our bodies. And we're also stimulating the vagus nerve as we breathe slowly and deeply like this, which balances the fight or flight response. It's a big nerve that runs from our belly through our chest, back to the central nervous system, to the brain, slows heart rate.
So, Dr. Gordon, sorry to interrupt this, but is this part of the meditation that people always talk about, just being still and breathing and just concentrating on peace in our head?
Exactly. This is a concentrated meditation, but anyone can do it. You don't have to change your religion or go anyplace special. There's no big training required. You're focusing on the breath and on the word soft belly and on the feeling of relaxation in your belly. And that, a few minutes of that, a few times a day, starts to balance out the mind and body, so we can use our minds more clearly. We can use our imagination to deal with the challenges, and it also makes it easier for us to connect with other people. If we're in a state of anxiety and agitation all the time, it's hard to have the close relationships with other people in person or online that we need to help sustain us during this crisis.